Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome back to Scents of South Jersey with me, Kellen, for yet another fragrance review. Gonna take a look at a classic, a discontinued gem from the house of Ralph Lauren, and it is the 1991 Chypre fragrance, Polo Crest. So as usual, what we're gonna do, we'll break down the fragrance into 5 parts. First, taking a look at the box and the bottle presentation. Then I'll go over the fragrance's notes, talk about its performance on my skin based on my experience wearing the fragrance, talk about my overall thoughts, and then of course, I'll give my overall rating for the scent. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy classic men's fragrance content, make sure to subscribe to support the channel. And if you have an Instagram, go ahead and check out the Scents of South Jersey Instagram page for news and updates on the channel, photos of fragrances from my collection, and daily scent of the day story posts. So let's take a look at this discontinued classic from Ralph Lauren. Okay guys, let's start things off with the fragrance presentation. So I got a box right here. This is an aftershave box. However, it's virtually identical to the Eau de Toilette, and I have some other body line products. I did my best to try to track down the full body line of this fragrance, and I can show you guys those products, a little bit later in the video, but let's take a look here. So you got Polo, Ralph Lauren here, you got this coat of arms symbol, and then the word Crest, and this says aftershave. It is a 100 ml bottle, the aftershave, same with my Eau de Toilette. So real collegiate look, blue, gold, very collegiate, very Ivy League looking to me. That's the first thing that came to my mind when I saw the box. On the top, you don't have anything going on. On the sides, you just got another barcode. On the back, you have some brand information. Let you guys take a look at that. You can see this is Cosmar, so this is vintage. On the bottom, you do have, looks like a stamped in batch code and a barcode and some more brand information. Pretty nice looking box. I enjoy it. When you open it up, there is a red in there, and then the cardboard, and then obviously the fragrance would sit in here. Nothing's in this box at the moment. So taking a look at the bottle, you can take a look here. So pretty much looks like the classic Polo for Men or Polo Green bottle. And just to compare the two, this is a vintage Polo Green. This is obviously a vintage Polo Crest. So it's clear, the bottle's clear. The juice is like a golden amber. You got that coat of arms there, nothing on the back here. This was a tester bottle. You can see not for individual sale. I got this one on eBay. It was probably about half full, but I've been wearing it. On the bottom, you see, the sticker batch code there, the cap. You can pick it up, but it doesn't have a click in. The vintage bottles don't have a click in there. So let's see here. I have some of it on my one hand. Let's spray some more seated distribution. Pretty good, nice wide, and you got that classic gold tall atomizer there. Really nice looking bottle. The other one that I have here is just the smaller 2-ounce one, and then this is the aftershave bottle. They all pretty much look the same, except that this one is going to be a splash too, and this is what I use today when I shave. So very nice presentation, very collegiate, very classy looking. Wouldn't expect anything less from Ralph Lauren, especially with these older fragrances. Okay, so let's go over the note breakdown for Polo Crest. Again, 1991, so this is 13 years after the original Polo Green or Polo for Men came out. Not sure if this is the second men's fragrance that they've had. I probably should have figured that out before I made this video, but it would make sense if it was. And again, classic, just after the 80s, you're gonna have a lot of notes. So in the top, you have basil, caraway, artemisia, rosemary, bergamot, and juniper berries. And then, once you get to the heart or middle of the fragrance, the first note's gonna be pine tree needles. Then you have caraway, carnation, jasmine, rose, and geranium. Lots of floral notes in the heart. The base has leather, oak moss, cedar, amber, musk, and patchouli. So with this fragrance, the notes that I pick up on the most, I have this smaller one here. These are 2 different bottles, so they smell pretty much the same. There's a little bit of differences. The larger one, I pick up more floral on. So maybe some of the floral notes like the carnation. But overall, I think your leather, oak moss, your pine tree needles, it's somewhat green, and definitely cedar is in there as well too. Those are the ones that I can detect. The other ones obviously fuse in there to make the scent overall, and it's a little bit harder for me to pick those out. So those are the notes for Polo Crest. Okay, let's talk about the performance. So the performance for this one is a little bit, to nail it down, is a little bit elusive for me. So I've had 2 different experiences. I was looking on Fragrantica. Some people said that it doesn't last on them at all, maybe 2 hours. So I gotta say, I had this bottle longer, the smaller one, and I've sprayed it, and it's lasted 8+ hours on me all workday. And then I've had times where I've put it on and I feel like it's gone. Now, I could, and potentially I think, attribute that to maybe going nose blind to the fragrance, me becoming anosmic to it. I've sprayed too much, and I tend to do that. I like to overspray my fragrances. I like to just, kind of just essentially bathe them. To me, that's fun. I like to smell it all day. And when you do that, sometimes you may not notice it, but definitely the people around you can. So in my experience, I think I get good performance. I think I get a work day's worth out of it, that in terms of that longevity. I think, in terms of maybe hour 3, 4, I can still smell it projecting. Like when I move around, I'll still get whiffs of it, which to me, that's projection, as far as I'm concerned. However, seeing other people, multiple people, talk about how they don't get good performance, I think it really comes down to people's skin chemistry with this one. Whereas there's no doubt that especially the vintage Cosmar version of Polo for Men is going to be a beast mode performer. And even the new formulation is still a good performer. But this one, I think it depends. I think it depends on the individual. I, however, do get good performance from what I think, but there's been times where I either don't think I am getting it or I'm going nose blind. But I would definitely say, for the most part, it's going to get me personally through a work day, but it's going to depend on the individual, as I mentioned. Okay, guys, it's time now for my overall thoughts on Polo Crest for Men. So Polo Crest, this is an interesting fragrance, I think. It definitely shares a lot of similarities with Polo for Men or Polo Green. That could be the reason why it was discontinued. That could be the reason why there was no official Polo Green Sport. There was a Polo Sport, but that's a completely different scent. And you know how a lot of the classics came out with the sport version of the original, like it's the original, but the sport version. So this, in all intents and purposes, could have been that fragrance. Some people mentioned, I was reading again for granted, guys, I like to do a little research, see what other people's thoughts are, and then kind of compare them to my own. They call this the spring and summertime Polo Green. I don't necessarily agree with that because I still think that despite it sharing a lot of similarities with the original Polo Green, it definitely is lighter. It definitely lacks that tobacco note, but it's a lot of the same scent too. It smells the same. And that might be the reason why it didn't sell. Maybe your diehard Polo Green fans were like, you know what, why would I like the original one. It's not that much different. I'm just going to keep going with the original one, and maybe that didn't sell. So eventually they removed it from the shelf and then discontinued the fragrance because it is discontinued. It's harder to find. However, I think it's a beautiful scent, and it's definitely, like this tester, I get more floral and cedar, whereas this one reminds me more of just Polo Green. But it's lighter. People calling it the spring and summer, I don't agree with that. I think it's heavy enough to where you could wear it all year round. I think it's light enough to where you could wear it in the office. It's definitely like the safer scent option than Polo Green in terms of it's a little bit more versatile. But it still maintains that classic masculine edge, a classic feel of Polo that Polo Green gives you, and Polo Crest does that. But the cool part is you could dress this up, you could wear it to a formal event, you could wear it to work, you could wear it out, you could wear it in the daytime or the evening time. If you're very season conscious, I think this probably could go all year round. Maybe you wouldn't wear it in like the highest heat of the summer. I know for sure on a hot day, this is probably not the first thing that's gonna come to my mind. However, I usually wear whatever I want, whenever I want. But I think Polo Crest is awesome in that regard, that it definitely can kind of bridge the gap between an anytime fragrance that still holds that classic masculine edge feel that of the fragrances that I love, fragrances of the 70s and 80s and early 90s, which is when this came out too. So age range, I think again, 30s and up would really appreciate that. It's a good all occasion. You can dress it up, you can wear it casual. It's a great signature scent. So it commands kind of a hefty price tag. So I got this one, like I mentioned, I got it like 45% full. The guy had mentioned it, and he only was charging 35 bucks. This one actually, because I got it full, cost a lot more. Let me show you guys some of the body line products that we have here. So here's the aftershave. I know we took a look at that one, and I used that today. This is more floral. The aftershave is more floral, where the fragrance is more spicy. The eau de toilette's more spicy. They do have body washes, Polo Crest body wash. These smell fantastic, really nice lather you get with these things. As far as a deodorant goes, there is a deodorant stick. And you know what I like better? This deodorant stick I like much better than the Polo Green one because this one doesn't have alcohol in it. And if you have a lot of fragrances and you don't necessarily wear the deodorant as much, the ones with alcohol will dry up and shrink and become unusable, where this one doesn't have alcohol and it's lasted forever and it's great. It's still in excellent condition. As someone who shaves and has a thick beard, I need aftershave balm, and they do have an aftershave balm. And this, I think, has a little bit of alcohol in it, but the scent is still there, and it really is just a nice, smooth, soothing aftershave balm that carries that scent of Polo Crest. It's really awesome. So having all these will help push the performance. As a collector and reviewer, It's nice for me to get. However, as someone who just may be wanting the fragrance, there are definitely ways that you can get it. Is it worth the money? Some people are charging a ridiculous amount of money for this fragrance. If you can get a good deal, buy it. If you're looking at something like $280 or higher, just keep your Polo green. Polo Crest is awesome, but that's what happens with some of these, eBay sellers. They really jack up the price, and if they're trying to profit and whatever, that's fine, more power to them. However, if you can collectively get things like this, like I don't know, one seller had a lot of these same items and he wasn't charging that much. But anyway, this is an excellent discontinued gem from Ralph Lauren, and I really like it. It's an awesome scent. Naturally, it's really good, and that's why they pulled the plug on it, because it's great. Imagine if this was still around. I think people would really gravitate towards it now, wanting more of a lighter option than the original Polo that they could wear, and and more of a any type of setting, more versatile fragrance too. But this is definitely an excellent fragrance. Okay guys, time for my overall rating for Polo Crest by Ralph Lauren. So let's talk about the presentation. I actually really like it. I like the collegiate look. It looks classy. The box is nice. It's not like just another Polo with the horse on it. They changed up the logo, and I think that looks cool. I have never seen another Polo box like this. The bottle looks very similar to the original, but again, clear, different color juice, and obviously the crest on here. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for presentation. As far as the performance goes, again, that was difficult. I mentioned how that was a little elusive for me. So, I got full workday, and then I feel like it's gone. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 for performance. As far as the scent goes, it's not the most unique scent. It definitely is like a lighter, more floral cedar take on the original, but it also shares a lot of similarities with the original. So it's not that different, but I still love the scent. So I'm still going to give it a pretty high rating. That's going to be an 8.5 out of 10 for the scent. It's going to bring the overall rating for Polo Crest to a 7.5. All right, guys, that's my review of Polo Crest by Ralph Lauren, the 1991 Chypre fragrance, the younger brother to Polo Green. I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think about Polo Crest? Do you own it? Have you tried it before? Was it a fragrance that you had in the past? Let me know in the comment section. You guys know I always appreciate all the interaction, and I love the feedback from you guys. Let me know what you think of the review, the fragrance, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check out the Scents of South Jersey Instagram page for news and updates and photos of fragrances from my collection. I'm definitely going to put this collection up in a post today after this video is uploaded. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.